Hey everybody, AJ McWhorter here, your tournament director for the Hobie BOS Open Series, anchored by Power Pole, and it is the Tournament of Champions week. And that video got me jacked up watching all the action from last year. Ryan Lambert, our reigning grand champion, took home $30,000 in Knoxville, Tennessee, and we are going to crown another champion. You know, Ryan gets a chance to defend his title. He was the first angler to qualify, and another 49 anglers spent all of 2021 trying to qualify. And we've got a couple anglers that are going to come and talk about the season and prep us for their TOC experience a little bit later. But we are just going to get everybody going tonight. It is Tuesday. Folks are already at Lake Eufaula. Some are still traveling in. Anglers were allowed to start pre-fishing on Saturday. We've seen some pictures, some travel pics, some gas station pics of folks traveling all over the country to come and fish in this 50 angler championship, where there is going to be $75,000 paid out to the top 10 anglers for this event. So that's 20% of the field. First place prize is $35,000. Second place is $10,000, and it's stacked all the way down. Last place money is going home with $1,500. The Bassin Magazine Big Bass of this event is $1,000. And then we've got the thing called the Far Wide Angler of the Year, where we're going to cash another $10,000 to the top 3 anglers. We're going to give away a custom Hobie Pro Angler 14 360 orange and black with all of the accessories on it that you could want. Some great prizes going out, and 3 Hobie Fishing World spots for those Angler of the Year, places. So it's exciting. It's definitely the week that these anglers have all been looking forward to. I am on my way down. I'm about halfway down. I had a couple stops along the way, and I can't wait to get into Eufaula, Alabama tomorrow afternoon. We're gonna, go live as much as we can. This event, we want the anglers that want to be a part of this series and that want to be fans of the anglers that are fishing to kind of follow and see what goes on. So we're gonna have a lot of that going on, pretty much starting on Thursday. You want to be right here on the Hobie BOS Open Series page all weekend. We'll be doing as many updates as possible. We'll be sharing the action from the lake, and hopefully, with this field, we're going to have plenty of action and definitely some awesome storylines to dive into. But before we do that, before we talk to these anglers, I know that you all have been looking forward to the schedule drop for 2022. We gave you the first 6 events about a month ago or a few weeks ago, and we're going to drop the final 4 tonight. And we're also going to, at the end of this week at the TOC, we are going to announce the TOC venue for 2022 as well. So the entire schedule will be out by the end of this week, and here in just a little bit, you all are going to see the full rest of the schedule. So what's going to happen is I'm going to get pulled out. Steve is going to go ahead and throw the schedule up there. Now, we will share it on our Facebook page here a little bit later. It will get shared on, some of our other sites that support what we do. So you'll have a chance, but it's going to be up on the screen here for just a second. And then we're going to talk about it for just a little bit before we get to our guest. Steve, show us the rest of that schedule, buddy. All right. 9 events next year, starting at Toledo Bend, Manny, Louisiana. We're going to head over to Santee Cooper in March, Lake Eufaula in April. So as you're following along this week, as anglers are talking about stuff, keep in mind that we're going to have a great open event there in April 23rd and 24th. Broken Bow Lake in Oklahoma is going to be in May. Lake Chickamauga in early June. All right, now the final four of the year. So we are going back to the Northeast. Lake Winnipesaukee is the Lakes region of New Hampshire, June 25th and 26th. It is came in as a top 25 in the Northeast region on 2021 Bassmasters Northeast list. Known for good smallmouth and largemouth. It's one of the largest lakes in New Hampshire, and we can't wait to see what the Northeast region is going to be able to do on our second visit. Then we're going to hit the Susquehanna River at the end of July. It's almost one of those things that we almost have to go back every year. The place is just built for kayak fishing, and they love us there, and we love going. We'll probably shake up the area a little bit, the time of year a little bit, and see what that is. But we're going back in the summer for 2022. Then in August, we're going to the Wolf and Fox Rivers out of Appleton, Wisconsin. So a lot of people aren't necessarily familiar with that, but it is the rivers that come in and make Lake Winnebago, and then the I guess the Fox River kind of comes out of Lake Winnebago into Green Bay. But it's a really cool system of rivers, and they have like these little lakes in places, and then it's a river stretch. It's smallmouth, largemouth. It's a variety of things that you like to do, and it's going to be one of those things that it's new waters for a lot of people, but it's one of those cool fisheries that you don't see a lot of tournaments go to, that we're going to spread kayaks out all over and have anglers really fishing for a shot at some good Wisconsin smallmouth and some healthy largemouth in August. And then we're going to wrap it up in the central part of the country, Lake Dardanelle, Russellville, Arkansas. They love us there. It is an awesome fishery. We're going back to end the season, September 17th and 18th. I know the screen kind of cut that out a little bit, but September 17th and 18th is going to be our final event. A nice central location, kind of like Pickwick was this year, where a lot of folks can come into it, hit that last chance opportunity, or get some good Angler of the Year points. And I might just go ahead and throw a little hint out there that particular last event is not going to be too far away from our Tournament of Champions in 2022. So we are going to go to a different region from the Southeast that we've been in the last couple of years for the TOC next year. And so those people in that region will really be able to kind of strategize what events they're going to hit to try to get in on points or those top qualifiers. I've seen a couple comments. I will go ahead and address it here tonight. We are not planning on changing to motors for next season. We're going to maintain pedal or paddle only in competition, but we do allow motors in practice. But we do pedal or paddle only in competition in the Hobie Bass Open Series. Normally, I wouldn't address a specific rule, but it's definitely a common asked question, has been for a few years. But we keep doing the human-powered thing in this series, and it seems to be working out pretty well. As we continue to grow, we keep growing our pots and our attendance, and it's a lot of fun. Even for the folks that use motors, the majority of the time, they're still making their way out to fish with us and having a blast. And that's really what it's all about. So we'll share the schedule a little bit later. I'm sure there's going to be some folks Googling Lake Winnipesaukee, and there's going to be some folks Googling the Wolf and Fox Rivers. We will try to get the boundaries out for these events a little earlier for those folks that are going to be planning way ahead. It's definitely one of our goals in the off season to have that out and have that on the HobieBOS.com page for you guys to view. But that's next year. We got to wrap up this year, and I couldn't be more excited to be rolling down to the TOC right now. And we've got two anglers that are already down there. They've been down there pretty much since practice opened up on Saturday. And we're going to hear from them right after this little break. Maybe not. Maybe we're just going to keep rolling. So if we don't have a break, Steve, let's go ahead and bring Jay Wallen and Joey Vanyo in to the show. What's up, guys? How's it going tonight?
What's happening?
What's going on, AJ?
Oh man, just getting ready to get down there. So for those that don't know, or don't remember, it seems like a long time ago. Joey got our season started off on fire down at Lake Seminole. Him and Brian Howe went head to head that event, and Joey was putting up some amazing limits, and Brian was waiting to the last minute to get service and kind of break your heart at the end there. But man, you have. You've qualified at that event. And you made a few more, and it's been fun to watch you this season. And I'm excited to see what you're going to do down at the TOC. How's practice been going for you so far?
Practice has been going good. Just covering a lot of water right now. Eufaula is one of those bucket list lakes for me, so I'm just trying to experience it all, while I'm down here.
No doubt, man. You got down there and had a few days. A lot of folks are taking, the majority of the full practice period to get familiar with the lake or to find the fish. What would you say, like, your kind of goal coming into this was to where you could be efficient in your time, but also not hurt your fish, knowing that you have to catch fish for 3 days?
Yeah. So, my technique or what I'm trying to do during pre-fishing right now is obviously a lot of map study before coming down here. I really picked 3 or 4 areas that I want to hit, and just trying to poke and prod and see if I can find the size that I'm looking for. Back at home, we've already gone through the whole fall transition, so I was really interested to see how what stage we're at down here right now. And so I'm just trying to take what I've learned and been doing at home for the last month and adapt and try to apply it here.
No doubt. Jay, you've had you fished a few events early this season, and then you really hit a strong momentum towards the end of the year, not just in our series, but in some of the other series that you participate in. What are you trying to do to kind of ride that momentum into this event?
Well, I'm looking for real specific stuff. This lake's so big. I'm really focusing on trying to develop a pattern more so than a spot, just because I really feel like some of these spots, 3 days trying to manage your fish for that long, it's pretty difficult. So I would rather have a pattern than a spot. I'm not finding there's a few areas that I found that are holding more fish than others, but for me, it's been a cover water with some couple specific patterns that I've been trying to run, and I've been fairly successful. I've averaged I've gotten 3 days in. I've averaged 80 inches a day. I don't think that'll win it, but I think somebody's going to have close to that upper 80 average, 87, 88 inches a day average, I think, to pull it off. But I'm running patterns. I'm just trying to find patterns. That's really the only way I can break down these big lakes is because I don't know the spots, so I'm looking for whatever looks good and just trying to run some different patterns.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. This time of year, it can definitely vary throughout the week, and weather can occur that changes things abruptly. It's been kind of interesting the way the weather patterns have been. It was a little cooler last week, but now this week it's kind of nice. I mean, it's like in the mid 70s and sunny throughout the day. The nights down in Alabama are not getting that cool. I just left Tennessee this morning and it was 30 degrees this morning, but it's really nice down there, and it's going to stay that way most of the week. But it wouldn't be a tournament weekend if we didn't have a front rolling through on Saturday and Sunday. I gave ourselves 3 days to accommodate a front.
Right,
it hit the last 2. So what are your thoughts, Jay, on how you're going to how or if you'll have to adjust? Are you looking for things that maybe not get as affected by a temperature change at this event?
Yeah, well, on Lake Eufaula, there's a couple different things you can do to accommodate those cold fronts. I mean, we're mostly, as far as I know, these are Florida strain bass, and these cold fronts just knock them in the head. They're either going to get in those deep brush piles out there, trying to avoid some of the frontal boundary that's coming through, or they'll tuck up under shallow cover. They'll get in that thick stuff. That's just what they do. But even then, it's one thing to be able to go after those fish in that heavy cover, but they're not going to want to eat. They are not going to want to eat. So, I think you're really going to have to keep your bait in the water. I think Friday you're probably going to see the biggest bags of the tournament, and then I think it's slowly going to taper off. I think Sunday is going to be really tough. I think Sunday is going to be a real tough day, and somebody will probably prove me wrong, but I think Friday is going to be the best day, and then it's slowly going to get tougher all the way to Sunday. But find that thick cover and fish slow. That's going to be the deal. My opinion.
Yeah. We'll be interested to see definitely how that plays out. Joey, what do you think? How are you preparing for a very consistent weather week and then a forecast that kind of shows, some different stuff during the tournament weekend?
Yeah. So I'm preparing, like I said, at home, when I left, water temps already low 40s. So this whole last month at home, I've been preparing for what it's going to be like when, we're dealing with, lockjaw type situations. So I've been really prepping with cold water scenarios, just speeding it up right now throughout the week. So that's really what I'm doing. I'm trying to get on a pattern with that specific technique and then just slow down once the front comes through.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting. There's some amazing anglers in this series. I mean, it's obviously the best 50 of our series for this season. And there's a lot of different types of anglers in this event. Anglers that really thrive on some shallow water opportunities, anglers that really thrive on deep water opportunities. And then you've got just the anglers that are good at being versatile. And it's going to be really interesting to see all of those situations kind of play out. One of those anglers that hits their strong suits and does so well in this series and just about every other series is Drew Gregory. And we see him in the comments. If there's anybody watching tonight that, didn't get to see Drew on our Far Wide Angler of the Year show last week, you can check it out. It's still on the BOS group page. But Drew is one of two anglers that qualified that isn't going to get to make it for this event. He's back home dealing with some family stuff and making sure everybody in his family's in good shape. And we'll be thinking of Drew, and we're looking forward to figuring out how we can get Drew incorporated into this event. But it sounds like we would have Drew would have some success in some of the shallow and stuff that we've heard reports on through the week already from some anglers posting up, and that's definitely something he likes to dive into. Have you guys kind of experimented on other stuff, or are you mainly focusing on that one thing? I've seen some of Joey's posts, and you just never know how big those fish are when they're, you're in a kayak but some of them look like they have some shoulders now. I mean, that one looked pretty good, but you said you were out there, looking for some schools and stuff like that. And I think you always got to be careful listening and reading posts of anglers on pre-fishing weeks. Cause sometimes there's some information there, but sometimes there's some defense there as well. Joey, man, anytime I've ever asked you anything specifically, it's always been after a tournament, but now we're talking about before. Or is that something that you're finding or looking, or are schools a thing for you right now, or would you like not to say too much about that?
I've been back and forth, and if I wanted to answer this, I figured it was going to come up, but yeah, I am finding schooling fish, and I'm trying to pattern them and how they act throughout the day. There's definitely a pattern that I'm on. I stumbled onto it pretty quick, and I've run the pattern now pretty much across the entire lake, and it seems to be working. But yeah, I know that one fish. I've boated two fish that are over 6 pounds this week so far. So they're definitely out there. I'm not trying to hit it too hard. Obviously, just trying to run the pattern, get a bite, and move, run the pattern again. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm on schooling fish right now.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing. When you get a lake this big, there's so many different things going on, especially this time of year as the lake transitions. In certain places transition uh, quicker than others, and fish in certain areas don't transition as much as others. So it's definitely one of those things that you can kind of find something unique. Jay, in your few days out there, are you finding anything unique, or are you pretty much just kind of that bread and butter, kind of what you expected to get out there and find, kind of playing out for you?
Yeah, it's been pretty much what I expected. I'm not actually finding any schooling fish. I've been around a little bit of bait, but for the most part, they're hanging out pretty deep in the channel. They haven't moved up shallow. A lot of my fish have been shallow, but they're scattered. I'm catching one here, one there. Really having to run a lot of water to get some numbers in the boat. I have graphed a little bit offshore. There is some stuff going on out there. That's a fact. It's just a question of what this front does to them. Whether or not there's those patterns out deep are going to hold up. Some of those deep fish, I think, will be a little bit easier to catch in a cold front than the shallow fish. So I think you're probably going to need a little bit of both. I think you're going to need some shallow fish, and then as things get tough, you might have to move out deep a little bit when that front rolls in. Yep. So I'd love to find some schooling fish, but I have been unsuccessful so far.
Well, there's definitely a couple more days of practice left. These anglers get Wednesday and then Thursday until 4 p.m. to continue figuring out what Lake Eufaula has to offer them. Once again, the tournament is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's a 3-day event. There is no cut. All 50 anglers fish all 3 days. There's going to be a kind of a welcoming banquet on Thursday night at the headquarters. We'll be feeding all of our anglers. We'll give the anglers Friday night to kind of do their own thing. No gathering on Friday night. And then we'll have a Saturday and Sunday dinner and then awards on Sunday back at the headquarters. Looking forward to bringing all of our anglers together, 50 anglers in a room, and feeding them and kind of having the camaraderie that this whole series was started on, that we haven't really been able to enjoy for the last couple of years with a lot of the COVID restrictions. You guys excited to just kind of get to share some time with some anglers and hang out and talk fishing and talk a little smack and, just kind of what this sport is all about and have an opportunity to come in together and share those moments. You guys kind of ready for that after a whole season of drive-through check-ins?
Definitely. It kind of reminds me of the old Kentucky Lake days when we used to get together, once a year, and that's really what spawned this whole series. And that was, you ask anybody that fished those events, and everybody loved that event because we all got to hang out. We got fed. I mean, it was just nothing but class act all the way through. And, these last 2 seasons, we've really missed that. It's been lacking for sure. It's something you don't think about until you don't have it. And so being able for everybody to get together at this TOC is going to be really nice.
Yeah, Jay had many years on the Hobie Bass Open on Kentucky Lake, was a winner 1 year, and then he also qualified for the TOC last year. So he's got kind of understands what we'd like to do and what we do put together for the anglers. But this is your first time, Joey. You excited to kind of have that gathering and have that show and it kind of be built and for somebody like you that's worked your tail off to qualify this year?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for it. This is unfortunately, this is my first season really fishing these, the Hobie BOS series. So I never got to experience what it was like when we did have get-togethers and everybody was able to meet together. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Absolutely. I am too. It's a little bit extra it's a different kind of work on our end, but man, it's so enjoyable to be on the other side of the room, checking people in, and you can hear people laughing and cutting up and just enjoying each other. And it's really exciting to have everybody together. We're going to have a couple reps, Hobie reps out there that are, joined us most of the season. They're going to be there. One of the CEO for Hobie, one of the owners, is going to come out Saturday and Sunday. So he's going to be sharing in the event. We're going to have 3 media boats on the water. We're filming a TV show at this event, the Hobie Outdoor Adventures. With all that extra stuff, does that get you guys, is that like a little bit extra amped up, or do you need any extra? Do you see that $35,000 check and, the big trophy and the World's qualifier? Does any of that extra stuff do much for you, or is it already there? Jay?
None needed for me, but I've been ready for this for all year. I mean, since I started on Lake Seminole this year, I mean, this is what we were all wanting to get to. So no, I need no motivation, but I do enjoy all the other extras.
Well, Steve said if you like the media boat, then you better find some deep fish, because he likes staying deep.
Yeah. Well,
What about you, Joey? You does all that extra stuff do anything for you, or is the title and that big check enough to keep you motivated and excited all week?
I'd say for me, it's just really similar to what Jay just said. The fact that it's the TOC is just enough for me. The extra stuff added on top is just, icing on the cake.
You guys running into any gators yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's some respectable sized lizards down here. Yep.
Yeah, I've been seeing some folks stories and stuff, and I think they're just as startled when you all roll up on them as they are, and that ends up causing way more commotion than most people are ready for in a kayak.
I had one. We scared each other pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I haven't had any encounters like that. I'm just having a blast because we don't have gators in Minnesota. So, just being able to see them and, paddle alongside them is cool enough for me.
Yeah, they're a unique creature to share the water with. That's for sure. They're sometimes curious and sometimes not, and it's a different deal. Same thing. We don't have any gators in Kentucky, so growing up, I didn't have much experience around them, and my first few times around them was just you just kind of evaluate your surroundings differently when you're in gator country. You just kind of keep your head on a swivel a little bit more, and that's just an extra dynamic. But well, thank you guys for spending some time with us. Before we jump out of here, I've never asked anybody the 3-day total. So is what's your estimated 3-day total to win it? Joey, we'll start with you.
I think it's going to be over 270. So I'm going to say 271.
Okay. The old Price is Right trick. Go $1 over what you think.
Yep.
Jay, what are you thinking, man? What are you thinking?
I think 260.
Okay.
I think 260 will do it. That's like a little bit better than an 86-inch average. That's just my gut. I think Sunday's going to be tough.
All right.
I think it could bring some averages down on Sunday.
Well, it'll be definitely interesting to see how that 3-day plays out. See if there's anybody that cashes a check that doesn't have 5 fish each day. That happens in a lot of events where somebody catches 8 or 9, but their fish are where they need to be to win. So I think it's going to be fun to watch. Can't wait to see what you guys are going to do on the water. And we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up, let you guys get some rest, and get back out there on the water to continue to piece apart Lake Eufaula and get ready for this event. Thank you guys.
Go Cats.
Go Cats. Tonight, we got a big game with Duke here in a little bit. So it's basketball season now, now that football's kind of got off the rails a little bit. But guys, thank you all for the time, and we can't wait to see everybody in Eufaula. Thanks for following. We will post up the schedule a little bit later on the Facebook page. Steve, thanks for behind the scenes. We'll see you all in Lake Eufaula, Alabama, for the 3rd annual Tournament of Champions. Can't wait. Thanks again. Y'all have a good night.
Adios.
Peace.